Show the camera. Good job. Hello everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing September's TBR to be rolled. So this is the TBR game that I have been doing for a couple years now that I really enjoy. And September is also Magical Readathon month again, so we are going to be trying to combine the TBRs. We will get into that. We will talk about how we're going to be doing things. But I did want to mention last month's reading. Let's jump right into that because I did not do very well. I have been getting into reading more. Like, this month has been one of my better months. However, I've been mostly reading comics, graphic novels, and manga, and not as much of the books that I should have been reading. So the first roll that we did was red. Presley got to pick a book for me. He picked Basics of Spellcraft. I did not read this one. The second roll was a green, and we got a wild card, which meant I could pick whatever book I wanted. I picked Light from Uncommon Stars. I did not read this either. The third roll was a blue, which meant a poll pick that you guys got to vote on. We ended up picking book titles from my TBR box, and you voted to have me read The Girl from the Other Side by Nagabe. I did read these, because manga. Fourth roll was green, which was to read a debut novel. I picked Rules for Second Chances, and I did not read that either. Roll number 5 was purple, and it ended up being a pick for my 12 books, 12 friends for the year. I picked The Unmaking of June Farrow. I did read this one. I did. And then the last roll that we had was another blue, so another poll pick. It ended up being arcs that you guys had to vote on. You voted for Can't Help Falling in Love, and I did not read that yet either. It comes out later in September, so I still have some time to actually read it and get that done. It just, again, novels were not necessarily the thing I was picking up. So out of the 6 books that we picked last time, I read 2, which means there are 4 unaccounted for. One of the things that I have been doing this year is sort of like a punishment, but also not a punishment, is saving $1 for every book that I read, which I love doing. But the punishment is also saving $1 for the books that I was supposed to read and didn't, so those extra 4. I did actually read a total of 16 books, 16 things in the month of August. It just was not stuff off the TBR, and it was a lot of comics, graphic novels, and manga. We'll talk about it in the wrap-up, but if we add those 4 things that I did not read to the 16 things that I did read, I have to save $20 more, which I don't have in my hands right now. However, the money does go in here. I do have all the other money from previously right in here, and if we include the $20 that will be going in here for August, I'm actually at $109 right now, which I think is amazing because we fudged a little bit of numbers for the month that I didn't do the TBR game. Wasn't really reading that much, but yeah, 109, which is amazing. Now let's go into the plans that I have. We'll talk about what kind of prompts that we're looking for and then how that's going to relate to actually playing the TBR game. Okay, so my reading that I wanted to do in September includes my book club pick, which Light from Uncommon Stars was actually a book club pick as well that I haven't done yet, so I'm gonna maybe try and get that one on here. But I also have New Witch on the Block, which is the one that we're supposed to be reading in September. September is also the month where I'm gonna start trying to have like actual book club meetings now that Presley is going to be starting school very soon. So those will be coming up. I have 3 arcs for October. So like things that I would like to read in September. It's not stuff that's currently going to be like out in September, but it is coming up. One is The Merriest Misters by Timothy Janowski. This is going to be a Christmassy romance. One is The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rosh, I'm pretty sure. And this is going to be a like almost like a Nightmare Before Christmas sort of thing. Like it's a fantasy paranormal romance as well, actually. And If I Stopped Haunting You by an author that I don't remember, but I will have the picture up here. That is another paranormal haunted romance. They're all romances, so they should be very easy to read. I just need to do that. The buzzword for September is senses. So things related to sight, hearing, smell, taste. It doesn't have to just be those words. It can be related to that, things that you could smell, things you could see, or like the eyeball, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that could be here. I have no idea what I would pick for this, but there is that. And then I would like to try and get another 12 and 12. Again, I don't know exactly which one yet. So mostly I have arcs that are required reading. Also in September, there is the 30 and 30 manga challenge. I actually did a video on that about the different things I want to read, so I'm not going to mention them here unless it pops up for the prompts, but I do want to complete that as well. And then, like I mentioned before, we do have the Aurelium Magical Readathon coming up. So I failed the last one in April. I talked about it when we did the wrap up and stuff for that, and like the TBR for May. That was the month that everything just started going downhill because we were getting ready to move. So I am still going to be attempting the Star Whisperer career calling, whatever we are calling that. I failed last time. However, I have enough points saved up from previous months that I'm going to pretend that the like things that we could buy this time counted last time. I could just buy my way out of doing a semester just because we are now in the fall semester. So I think there are 8 books I should be reading for this. We're going to attempt to put them together with the other things that we're going to be rolling, but I have to get an O in Art of Illusion, and that prompt for that one is to do an emoji generator, which I think will be fun. I have to get an O in Astronomy, which is to read a book released in my birth month, which is January. I also have to get a Q in Astronomy, which is to read a book with a castle on the cover. I have to get a D in Astronomy, which is to roll a D6, and depending on what number pops up, that'll be like the page range for the book. That'll be intimidating if it's very high. I have to get an O in Lore, which is to read a vampire book. I have to get an O in Psionics and Divination, which is to read one of your favorite author's debut books. I have to get a Q in Psionics and Divination, which is to read a book where the letter appears in the title over 4 times. So that'll be a longer title probably. And then I have to get a D in Psionics and Divination, which is a tarot card generator. We did that last year, I want to say, and I actually really liked that one as well. So a couple generators and a couple random sort of things, and then a couple genre prompts, which is fine with me. We are going to roll as well. I think I'm going to be attempting this sort of like how I attempted the Bookopoly Readathon the last time we did it, where I'm going to do 8 rolls. I'm going to do 8 rolls because we need 8 prompts for the Magical Readathon, and I'm going to try and combine them as much as possible. So if I roll a red, that means somebody else gets to pick my book. I don't know if I'm going to go in order or just try and match them the best we can, but let's just say it was also an emoji generator. So I would generate an emoji, and depending on what that is, I would pick 2 to 3 to 4 books, if I can, that fit that emoji in some way, and then the red would be somebody picks out of those ones. You know what I mean? Orange is the TBR box. That might be the hardest to do unless we're able to do like sort of a random with maybe the one that's page number. We'll see. Yellow is genre and age group of book. So again, should be okay to fit in. Like if I get this and it says I need to read an adult vampire book, we'll see. Green challenge cards. I do think that'll be very intriguing to do if we get these, to see what also could fit with those prompts. Blue is poll pick, where you guys get to vote. So this would actually be probably one of the easier ones. Pick something there, and then you guys just have to vote based on that. And then purple is going to be the required reading stuff like my 12 and 12. Again, it might be hard to do. We're gonna try, like I said, as best as I can. If for some reason these things don't fit very well with this, depending on what we roll, I do think I'm going to be focusing more on the Magical Readathon side, just because those have more concrete prompts, but I think it'd be fun to try to combine them. So we are going to try and combine them. And I think based on that, that's everything we needed to talk about for housekeeping. So we are going to grab the kids and roll the ball.
What color are we going to land on?
I don't know.
You first.
You first?
Yeah.
Okay, roll number 1.
Oh.
It's what color?
Yeah.
Orange! Oh. Okay, so roll number 1 is orange. This is supposed to be the TBR box, but I really don't know how this is going to work. So I think what I'm going to do instead is we have the cards for the TBR box, and these have numbers on them, which is supposed to like tell me how many papers I can pull out. I think what we're gonna do instead is we're still gonna use the cards, but instead of actually pulling things out of the TBR box, it's gonna tell us how many books I can potentially choose from depending on what the prompt is. So I think a good prompt to do would be like rolling the D6 to figure out what page number, like how many pages I'm allowed to have, and then I can like maybe look on Goodreads by page number or by rating or however I want to do that, but then I only have 3 options to choose from or something like that. I think that might be how we do it, just because I don't think the TBR box is gonna pull it out the right way. Let's see how this works.
Ooh.
I have orange cards. Let me shuffle a little bit. And these are gonna have numbers on them, yeah?
Yeah. What
Okay.
number?
I don't know. That's the thing. We have to pick and see what number we get.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Presley's gonna pick a card. Right on top. What number?
5. That's how
5.
older I am.
That is how old you are. Okay, so the number we got is number 5, and I actually think what I'm gonna do for this one is the letter that appears in a title more than 4 times, because I am now gonna look for a letter that appears in a title of a book 5 times, because I think that would be fitting. So that's what we're gonna look for. Okay, so I think I have the book for the first prompt. I'm using this for a book that has at least 4 of the same letter in the title. However, I picked a 5, or Presley, I should say, picked a 5 for me. So I'm going with a letter that appears 5 times in the title. And I'm going with She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat. This is by Sataomi Uzaki, and this is actually a host recommendation for the 30 and 30 manga challenge from Isabel from Happy for Now. This is a library copy. It's going to be something that I read for sure at the very beginning of the month, because of the fact that my library books actually are due like the very first weekend in September. But there are 5 E's. So she loves, eat. Yay. Elliot, kick it this way.
No.
Kick it over here. Get it again. Kick it over here. Throw it. Throw it. Throw. What color? Green. Okay, roll number 2 is green. Elliot rolled this, so she's going to pick a card for us. But you're going to help me with a green card. Ready? Which one? That one at the top. Let's see what it says.
Oh.
New author. I need to read a book by an author I have not read before.
Yeah.
I need to find a book by an author I have not read before. I have other things. And I think for this... Yeah, there's yellow over here. We'll do stuff in a little bit. I think for this, I'm hoping to either get a castle on the cover or a vampire book, because I feel like I might have something either here or in my e-reader that has that from people I have not read before. Okay, so this one is really, really hard. I did end up going for castles just because that's what I found myself focusing on trying to figure this out. There is one author that actually has 2 books. I have 2 different books by this author on my Kindle, in the e-reader, ebooks, which I think might be easier for me to read right now than a physical book, because I'm not reading books as much as I should be. They're both by Sylvia Mercedes, and the reason I'm saying both of them is I actually don't really know much about either one right now, because I picked them up a while ago, and I do want you guys to potentially vote for me if you have a suggestion, just because I don't know. If you guys don't know either, that's fine. I will figure it out. But one is called Bride of the Shadow King and one is called The Moonfire Bride. And so we have 2 books by the same author, both with different types of castles on the cover. I have not read any of her books, but I've been intrigued by stuff from her. So we have 2 different books. One of these will be read with a castle on the cover. What? It's roll number 3 is yellow. Presley is coming up here to do this one because he rolled it. So we have yellow. Which one do you want?
What does yellow have?
Different types of books. So like age group or the way I read it. A mass market. Do you want to show the camera?
Mass market.
Mass Market. Okay, so for this one, vampires might be the way to go. I have mass markets off camera right over here, and I want to say I have quite a few that could fit into that category. So let me go check. Okay, the reason I went with vampire is I actually have quite a bit of Janine Frost over there, and I read the Night Hunter series, really enjoyed it. My only problem with Janine Frost right now is I sort of want to reread those books before I jump back in, because I have finished that series, but I've started one of the spin-offs, and then there's another spin-off, and I own pretty much all the books, but I want to reread. However, I found another author over there in my mass markets called Jocelyn Drake. The first book in this series is called Night Walker. It is about a woman who is basically a type of vampire. She is a night walker, an unstoppable enforcer for a mysterious organization that manipulates earth-shaking events from the darkest shadows. She has elemental mastery over fire, and then she is now going to be facing a vampire hunter. So I mean, there's vampires in this world. And one thing, Janine Frost has blurbed the back. I think that is good for me. So I'm going to be starting and trying a new author. This could have totally worked for the last thing that I did too. I could have found a new vampire book that I had never read before, a new author, but that's okay. We're going to be doing that as a mass market, a vampire book. Yeah. Can you throw it?
Yeah.
It's
Purple.
okay, roll number 4 is purple. So Elliot gets to pick a purple card. Let's see. Mommy's shuffling. Because she seems to be doing the same thing Presley is right now, picking only from the top. Stand up. What card do you want to pick? From the top? Oh, okay. A book from Kindle Unlimited. I do need to use that more often. I pay for it. My sister also uses it as well. My sister who's like 20 something. So, a book from Kindle Unlimited. Let's see what we can match with the Aurelium stuff. Okay, I got super lucky with this. I wasn't entirely too sure how I wanted to pick Kindle Unlimited stuff. However, one of the first things that popped up that I thought maybe would work for my Aurelium things, because I have a checklist of everything that we're going through, is Birth Month. Something that was released in January. So I have a list of Kindle Unlimited books that have already been checked out by either me or my sister. Some of these are not mine, but I wanted to like have them in an area. So I have them in a collection on the Kindle app, and one of the first ones at the top that I was interested in, I just typed the title into Goodreads to see when it was first published. It was first published in January of 2016. So it's perfect. I'm not even going to look anymore. I'm going to go with Fantasy of Fire by Kelly St. Clair. This is the 3rd book in the Tainted Accord series. I want to say that's what it's called. I have the first one. I own it because it was gifted to me. And I read the second one. And this is the 3rd one. I've really been enjoying them. They're like new adult fantasy romance. The world is like very interesting because there's like a fire area and an ice area, and these kingdoms are warring, and there was a lot of stuff happening, especially in the first one. The second one took a little detour compared to the first one. I really do want to see where this is going to go, and it's been a while since I read it, and so I'm actually very excited to do this. And it was the very first one that I pulled up, released in January originally of 2016. So, Fantasy of Fire. Presley's turn again. Throw it up. It's purple again. Okay, roll 5 was another purple. So now Presley gets to pick a purple card. Presley's gonna pick a purple card.
Purple.
Oh, okay.
What does this say?
Arc.
Arc.
Okay, no jumping. Okay, so what do we have left? We have an emoji generator, a favorite author's debut, and a tarot generator, and the D6. Ooh, okay. I don't want anything too big for a D6 roll, but because we are supposed to be picking some of the arcs I have, I think I might roll a D6 and see what we get. That way, if it fits for some of the arcs, I can pick that way. Okay, I'm pulling out my D6.
Me.
Here it is. It is part of the same set. So it has the wolf, the Dragon Age ones that I usually do a D12 to do a roll for this. Let's roll it. A 3.
A 3.
A 3. we got a 3. I'm actually okay with that because that means it should be something between 301 and 400 pages. And I want to say for romances, because that seems to be most of my arcs, that is pretty standard, between 300 and 400 pages. So let's see. Okay, and so for this one I'm picking Can't Help Falling in Love by Sophie Sullivan. According to Goodreads, it is 304 pages. So probably one of the lowest page numbers I could get and still be in this category. And it is the arc that is coming up in September, so I need to get on that. Your turn again. Ready? Throw this way. Good girl. It's green. Okay, roll number 6 was green again. Elliot's gonna pick a green, but here, pick a green. Oh, near the bottom. Oh, no, near the top. Okay. It says a book under 300 pages. That's actually very nice. Okay, so now for this one, I do think I need to pick some sort of generator. Let's, I guess, go to emoji, because then maybe I can pick a manga or something depending on what I have, because I am still trying to do the 30 and 30 manga challenge, and besides the first one we picked, I have not picked any more manga. So let's go to an emoji generator. Okay, so I went to the emoji generator that is listed in G's Book Gross video. I'm going to randomize one emoji and see what I think. Let's go. It started off with a dolphin. That wasn't me. Randomize. Okay. That's random. Okay. I feel like the emoji one was really, really hard. Maybe I should have done like tarot or something. But I think I'm going to go with Tokyo Tarareba Girls by Akiko Hikishimura. Ignore Elliot. She's just mad that she can't go downstairs and go on a trip with Nana right now. So she's fine. She has big emotions at 2 years old. But we're going with the okay sign, and the reason I picked this is that it's by the same author as Princess Jellyfish, but I've owned it for a while. I have the first 4 volumes, and I'm just like waffling in general between if I pick it up or if I don't. Like, I'm okay with it, but also this is about a woman who I guess like feels like she's done everything right. In her 20s, she was expecting big things from herself, and now she's 33 and is just sort of like okay with her life, wishes things would have been a little bit better. And so I feel like the vibe of that, both for me and the summary at least so far, fit that emoji well enough. Throw it high. It's yellow. Roll number 7 was yellow, so Presley's last card to pick is gonna be yellow. I shuffled a little bit. I have no idea what is what. Are you ready? Pick a yellow card for me. It says
Ebook.
ebook. Perfect. I'm happy with that as well. So we have either favorite author's debut or a tarot card generator, and it needs to be an ebook. I think I am going to double check and just see if I have a favorite author that has a debut as an ebook that I haven't read. I would prefer something I have not read. Otherwise, we will go to the tarot generator. So this took a while. A couple of the authors that I thought of for debuts, like as favorites to look up their debuts, I've read them. And I wasn't particularly wanting to read a new one. Or there was an author where I read some books that I would potentially consider them a favorite, but I do not want to read the debut. The debut is not my thing. So I'm going with an author who I think could definitely be a favorite. I loved the book that I read, 5 out of 5 stars. And I have been intrigued by the debut. It has been re-released recently, so you can get it actually on Kindle Unlimited. And so the author I'm going with is S.A. Barnes. The S.A. Barnes debut is Dead Silence. However, that is a pen name for Stacey Cade. And Stacey Cade first put out The Ghost and the Goth in 2010. So that is the most recent one. Googling debut actually brings up one of her 2013 books, but I knew she had The Ghost and the Goth. It is a YA. It's something that I remember seeing at the bookstore in 2010. Like, that was when I turned 20. And I remember reading a lot of those early YA types of books, very paranormal, that kind of thing, and I just never picked this one up, but I'm curious. And it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I can read it as an ebook. We're gonna do it. Elliot's last turn. Throw. It's orange again. One more. Ellie, which one?
No.
You want red or orange?
Green.
You want green?
Yeah.
You're so silly.
Yeah.
What do you think, Presley? Red, orange, or green?
I want orange.
Orange. We'll go back to orange. Okay. And then finally, rule number 8 is orange. So Elliot gets to pick our last card, which is going to be an orange card. Are you ready, girl?
Yeah.
Come here. Okay, you ready? We're going to pick an orange card. Which one? Oh, okay, you picked 2 at the bottom.
2.
They were both the same. They're both the number 2. That is the number 2. You want to show the camera? Show 2. And so again, we're not going to actually pick out of the TBR box. However, the last thing we have left is a tarot card generator. So what I'm going to do with this is I have 2 chances. I'm going to do the tarot card generator, and it's going to generate once. We will see what it has on there. We'll see if I can find a book for it. If not, I will generate one more time, so I have 1 extra chance to do the tarot card generator. But that's all I get. So let's pull up the tarot card generator. Okay, we're gonna pull up our first tarot card, which is the Chariot. Okay, so we have a guy on here that looks very regal, has like a crown in a chariot. We have a couple of sphinxes, which is intriguing. I do not know anything about tarot. I do not know what this card means. I'm gonna see if I see anything that I would like to read that feels like this. If not, we are gonna generate one more time. Okay, I think we're actually gonna stop at this one. I am curious. Let's see what the other tarot card would have been. The Empress. She's sitting on like a throne. Again, very regal, crown, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to go with the one that I thought. I do not know exactly what I thought Chariot and like that card means. Like I don't know what the card means because you could have also done it that way. However, I'm doing the 30 and 30 manga challenge. We talked about this just a little bit at the beginning because of the fact that like I am doing that. It's not something that we needed to talk about here. Because I went over all of my, like, what I want to read for that in a different video. However, I'm going to pick a manga. I'm going to go with Perfect World by Readathon. This is volume 4. The reason I picked this is because he's in a wheelchair. And Chariot usually to me is like a vehicle with wheels, that kind of thing. And I liked the idea of him being in the wheelchair and having the chariot, and the guy was very like regal and like that kind of looking, very stately. And I have read the first 3 volumes of this series a while ago, really enjoyed them. I really like the characterization of the characters, and I feel like the Empress could probably fit this as well. Like I just feel like the vibes of those fit this, but the main reason I picked it is the fact that it was called The Chariot, and he is in a wheelchair for most of the story. Obviously he is paralyzed from the waist down, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, this is a romance manga. I want to read it in general, so we're gonna go with this one. And that is going to be it for today. We actually got 3 out of 30 volumes on this list, which is fine. We have 1 mass market, and the other 4, because it is an 8 book challenge that we're trying to do, are ebooks, I think, which is actually not bad. I do feel like those are going to be things that I should be able to read very easily. 2 of them are on Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, I think this is a doable TBR. At least crossing my fingers, hoping it's a doable TBR. Okay, the kids are ready to go do something else, so we are going to end it here today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel. Elliot. If you would like to see more videos, I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays. So I will see you then. Bye!